Hi everyone, my name is Louise Houghton. I'm a broadcast journalist, TV host and producer, and I'm joined right now by Chris Pan, the CEO and founder of MyIntent. Chris, before we talk about what you've been doing during this global pandemic, I want to go back to the beginning and ask you where you got the idea to start this not-for-profit organization.
So back in 2012, I went through a devastating breakup. And a friend recommended I check out this place called the Houghton process. 7 days of deep inner work, $5,000 a week of time, right? And in that journey, I got to meet myself for the first time. I got to know who I am. I got to release a lot of emotions that were pent up. And the experience was so magical because it wasn't someone telling me what to believe, what to think, etc. But I was given a lot of questions and exercises to figure out my own answers. And I love that experience. It's a different way of learning. It's a different way of discovery.
How old were you when you did this, if you don't mind me asking?
35.
Okay.
And this was a process that I wish I would have done when I was 22. If I would have had the process at 22, the breakup that I had at 35 wouldn't have been a breakup. But because I didn't have the skills that I needed to have a healthy relationship, that relationship ended.
So what was it from the Houghton process and that stage there that brought about MyIntent?
So I didn't know how to actually bring this magical week to a lot of people for free, or for very little cost. But that was the intention, and that's the power of intention. And somewhere along the way, I met someone who made me a bracelet and asked me for a word. And that totally reminded me of the same thing I was going through at the Houghton, where they were constantly going around asking for a word of, what are you feeling? What's coming up for you? What is your intention? Because what's your word is really broad. It can be any number of questions, but there's something powerful about summarizing it into one word. So it's out of that process I started making bracelets for other people, and along the way have helped other people learn the process. And that's been everything leading up to recent times.
So what are you doing to help those people?
When this whole pandemic happened, I realized that a lot of people are feeling really isolated, lost, in a lot of pain, and I felt really inspired to step in and to help. And so we're launching this MyIntent Live, as we're calling it, sessions. And in these sessions, there will be a number of different experiences people can have that they're going to love to find themselves and to help navigate turbulence.
So what sort of things are you offering?
So the way we think about it is there's 8 paths, right? And the first path is about finding, we call it calm. If we're in a state of panic, in a state of hurt, we have to just get to calmness, because from calmness we can then assess and move forward, right? And so it's a lot of meditation. Breath work is just every morning, there'll be helping people get from, I remember when I was going through another hard time, when I was unemployed, I'd wake up with no sense of purpose and a bit of panic and anxiety, right? If we're in a state of anxiety, it's hard to be productive.
And there's a lot of unemployed people around.
A lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety. So number 1 is calm. Number 2, energy. As we move our bodies, it gives us powerful fuel to take on the day, whether it's some stretching, yoga, dance, right?
Getting the endorphins.
Yeah, just getting our bodies into state. Number 3 is about inspiration. It's about tapping into our own voice, because so much of what we do is other people's agenda. It's what the media has taught us to try to get our attention. It's what marketers have thrown at us to make us feel like we're not enough, right? It's our own traumas that we've had, things that have happened in the past, but it's not really who we are. And the word inspire means in spirit, in touch with our own spirit. And so that whole track is working with facilitators, a lot of journaling, a lot of just self-exploration.
Yeah.
The 4th track is called purpose. Really stepping into, why are we on this planet? Not just collecting a paycheck, but with our gifts, with our talent, really serving a need in the world, right? There's a lot of people that are unemployed. Well, this might be a great time to think about, well, maybe what I was doing isn't what I'm meant to do. What am I meant to do? And that's all about purpose. The 5th track is about play. We take ourselves so seriously sometimes. And I think you have a great quote.
Yeah, I love the quote. You don't stop playing because you get older. You get older because you stop playing.
Yeah. So it's that youthful energy that we all crave, right? That sense of play. And play helps us navigate uncertainty. And when something comes in our way, if we're playful, we can just move around it. But if we're stiff, then we're panicking, right? So play is a powerful skill. The sixth track is nurture. So we forget to, a lot of us like to take care of other people, but we forget to take care of ourselves. The food we put into our bodies, making sure we get enough sleep, the relationships we have with other people. And why are we not taught how to have a great relationship in school? Because that's certainly something that would benefit society if we have more stable families and more stable relationships.
They are bringing mindfulness practices into school now to help people better understand themselves as they move out into the world. But it seems like it's taken so long to get to that particular point.
Yeah. And the seventh track is called Discovery. And we're using entertainment and fun things like comedians, magicians, DJs to take us on different journeys, whether it's a magical journey or a musical journey or a laughing journey. Because a lot of times, we use humor for the things that are actually painful. We learn to laugh. And so we're using entertainment with a purpose to help us have some insights about ourselves and our world. And the last track is all about community. In a time of isolation, we're all craving a sense of belonging. And these are going to be sessions like, hey, bring your own lunch and we'll eat alone together. There'll be men's circles, women's circles, different circles for different interests or different people with different backgrounds, right?
And who's going to be facilitating all of these different sessions?
So these facilitators, these guides as we call them, are people who come, we have 13 teachers from the Houghton. Several of the trainers are Tony Robbins trainers, right? So these are the best teachers I've ever worked with, and they're on the platform, and they're interactive experiences. So it's like you get to have a coaching session with these folks.
Sounds like there's a lot of life skills that people are learning.
100%. Yeah, it's like life school, or it's a school of love. It's a school of light. It's how to.
Can I ask you, when you graduated from college and went out into the big wide world, did you know then at that point what you were going to do, or do you think that this kind of content would have been really valuable then?
So the value of this program for new graduates, there's two ways to think about it. One is a lot of graduates are going to have a lot of time on their hands. And there's no better way to learn these skills. I'm pretty sure these skills were not taught, at least not taught in the way we're teaching, the level of involvement we're having people, because I believe in tell me I forget, show me I remember, involve me I understand. So that's why all of our sessions are highly interactive, high level of involvement, because I really want people to go away with the skills, not just the knowledge, but the skills. And so for a new grad, this is super valuable because these are skills that they most likely didn't pick up in college. For the grads who are working, make some time for this. And especially for the grads who are not working right away, you've got a lot of time, make the most of it, come in and get your second degree.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're really knowing your purpose and learning your purpose, because some people don't know what they want to do when they leave, and you go out into the big wide world and have so much anxiety over what to do with yourself.
And part of what we teach here is a sense of surrender and a sense of what's meant to be will be, right? Why so much anxiety? That anxiety is probably coming from mom and dad. That anxiety is coming from peer pressure, from a sense of, if I don't have a job, I'm not enough. Like, we're going to explore all that, right? This might be a gift, the fact that you don't have a job for 3 months or 6 months, because you get to do something else with your time. But most people don't have that mentality. And we can work with folks to breathe and just say, you know what? I've surrendered to what I can't control. And what I can control is how I spend my time. Do I wake up every day? Do I sit in front of Netflix and binge on random stuff? Or watch the news all day, which is just going to make me feel more blues? Watch the news, you get more blues. Or do I spend my time in a highly interactive session with coaches from Tony Robbins, the Houghton, some of the world's best movement coaches, teachers, etc. So this is the perfect opportunity for college grads to come in and do some work, do some additional training. Think of this as, I think in different disciplines, there's like that, like let's say doctors, right? They finish med school and they do an internship or residency. So think of this as your internship or your residency, for leadership skills that you're going to have that's going to serve you the rest of your life. And it's not just the summer. We're obviously, looking at the summer and then we'll reevaluate, but we intend to provide this type of curriculum throughout, as long as we're around. Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for providing the service to everybody.
Thank you for asking the questions.